Hello, how y'all doing? Good morning or good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are when you see this. How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Oh wow. Where are you, Maddie? This video is perfect. I just got out of a relationship with a Pisces man who had 3 planets in Scorpio. What were those planets? I bet. Oh wow. Down under, mate. Okay, come on, Australia. Oh, y'all in lockdown? Is it because of the variant, or have y'all like always been in lockdown? Because America's real ghetto based. Like we was in lockdown very briefly, and then everything opened back up. But there is going to be another lockdown on the horizon. I got the accent right. I remember someone said in one of your lives, someone got to be a lesbian to fuck with a Pisces man. Listen, um, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get to it. So, because I don't want to be here for too long. So this live was brought to you guys by, because I'm not gonna keep it up because I'm a kind of reveal a lot of my business. And really, this needs to be for a Patreon. I might put this live on Patreon when I take it down. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say that now. I'm not even. This live was brought to you by like a personal experience that I have been going through. Um, because I personally have my Mars at the 29th degree of Scorpio conjoined to my sun, and then it's squaring my moon, right? And in the past, I actually have a video on Mars and Scorpio, and I've just been thinking and reflecting and meditating on the properties of this placement, right? And the ways that it can impact one's life. And this could even be to a certain degree applicable to Scorpio suns, maybe ascendants, maybe even Scorpio Venus individuals, but you know, Scorpio dominant individuals. Scorpio is one of those signs that, of course, I would put up there with Gemini, that kind of gets a bad rap because a lot of their lower vibrational qualities, their shadow qualities, their dark sided traits are like synonymous with what people know the sign for, right? They're a lot more well known than some of the more positive traits. And so this is where they get a lot of their um like the bad reputation or like the stereotypes and whatever. Um, However, I will say Scorpio, because it is a sign that does deal with like demonic activity. And when you break down the word demon, when you remove a lot of the religious paradigms from it, when we talk about demons, we're literally just talking about low vibrational entities, right? We're talking about a lower kind of a low energy way of existing. And a lot of these people, people with prominent Scorpio energy naturally kind of gravitate towards that. And that's because Scorpio can be a magnet for like either lower vibrational entities or, extreme experiences. So a lot of these people on a soul level have a desire to experience like really high highs and very low lows. So even though the high highs when we talk about Scorpio, and I'll make another video on that, right? Because there are some positive qualities about Scorpio as far as the archetype. When it really kind of hits its low points, it can be really susceptible to embodying and really running with that lower vibrational energy, I guess you could say. And almost every Scorpio dominant person, I don't care how evolved they are, at some point or another, maybe earlier in life, maybe, when they're angry or whatever the case may be, are susceptible to radiating a lot of these like really, 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 really low vibrational qualities. Obviously, some more than others. Obviously, other factors in the chart would apply, and the way that kind of is expressed is based on everybody's individual, astrological footprint, aka your natal chart. But some of the more lower vibrational qualities, and one of the more infamous, lower vibrational qualities with that Scorpio energy is resentment. Okay. As this live is titled, resentment. These are people who can carry grudges. And they could also be very vindictive, right? Very, it's kind of like a trait that is bred out of their obsession, or obsessiveness, right? And this is rooted in Scorpio's desire to always want to feel something. Scorpio without feelings, very similar to a lot, and this is something a lot of water signs have in common. All water signs have in common, Cancer and Pisces included. But with Scorpio, there's a need to always want to feel something. And so they're willing to, once again, go to extremes in order to make sure that they're able to maintain that like emotional feeling, like that emotional connection to people, places, and things. Scorpio is a sign that deals with bonds. And so when we talk about grudges and resentment and how vindictive, dark-sided Scorpios can be, a lot of times it's because it's their only means of still, creating or having like an attachment. Scorpio moons could be very capable of exuding a lot of these qualities too. I meant to mention. Thank you for the super chat, Jazz. He was a Pisces man with a Capricorn moon, Jupiter and Neptune, Scorpio, Mars, Saturn. Oh, Jesus. Scorpio, Mars. I wonder if his Mars was conjoined to Saturn and Pluto. But either way. This live was it was inspired because of my personal experiences, and I'll go ahead and give my anecdotal personal experience because, like I said, this live will not remain up. So I personally, how do I explain this? I basically have for those of you guys who've been watching my channel for a minute, you know that I have a 7-year-old. Okay. Her father and I were college sweethearts. We're gonna call him Adrian. Okay. Adrian and I were college sweethearts, and Adrian is a Pisces sun. I know. I was a lesbian. But our relationship, we were together throughout college, maybe about 4 years or so, 3-4 years. And the week I had my daughter, so my daughter was 1 week old. 1 week old, he broke up with me, right? He broke up with me, and oh honey, I was a hot mess. Mind you, this was Cancer season. I'm a Cancer South Node, and I think during this particular time I was experiencing like either a nodal return or inverse nodal return. Point is, it triggered a lot of karmic debt for me. So that, in addition to being postpartum, I was a hot mess, right? I was falling apart. And so he tells me, like, you know what? I've been pretending this whole relationship, I don't want to be with you anymore, and I've been forcing myself to be with you for the past 2 years. And I'm like, nigga, what? Like, I just had a baby. Like, nigga, did you force yourself to make a baby with me? Like, I'm confused. So I'm confusion, I'm hurt, I'm going through all these emotions. We're in school at the moment, or at the time we were in school. So I had my daughter in the summertime, and then we went back to school. And when we went back to school, because I up my last year, and so my mother agreed, and his mother agreed to kind of keep my daughter, and I would come home on the weekends and whatever. So mind you, I'm at school, I'm postpartum. I'm having separation anxiety when it comes to my kid. But then also I'm dealing with the fact that like a person I literally done spent the past 4 years with that told me that they've been pretending. They didn't really want to be in a relationship for real. Like all this was a lie. It was a lie, which is very Pisces, mind you. And he has his Venus in Pisces, and a lot of times these are people who can like feel trapped within relationships. So I mean, it checks out. He probably was feeling trapped within the relationship and felt like he had to live a lie. But point is, right? I felt blindsided. I felt like he just dumped it on me. I felt like, like where did this come from? And it really did ignite a lot of the abandonment issues and trauma that I had surrounding men and, all of that shit. So I'm mad right now. This is where the Scorpio Mars kicks in. Because, a lot of the times, like I said, when we talk about that Scorpio energy, it can be very codependent. We had a very, very codependent relationship. Oh, thank you. King Blitz is in the chat. Thank you for the super chat. Pebblebrook was a breeze compared to sorry to hear that. No, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you guys. I'm not really, it's it's cool. But, you know, um, Scorpio can be a very codependent sign, which I realized, I was very codependent. But when you do something to really hurt a person, right, who has a lot of Scorpio energy, especially the dark sided ones, there is this kind of this desire to either you're going to explode or implode, right? There's a need to kind of transfer that energy in a way, and a lot of the ways in which a lot of us handle that and respond to that is by finding other ways to transcend that energy. Now, if you're going to use it in a more constructive manner, which I would absolutely recommend, this would be a great time this is why Scorpio also deals with perseverance, rebirth, right? They do really well with persevering through hardships and life-altering circumstances, death, and even when you think about things like breakup, right? Especially for my Scorpio Venuses and things like that, breakups can be a form of death. You know what I mean? And so if you're using it constructively, this is the time to like reinvent yourself. This is the time to, find constructive ways to kind of, channel a lot of that energy, right? Because for the emotions for a Scorpio individual, Scorpio dominant people are very, very intense. So I didn't do that shit though. I wasn't evolved. I wasn't evolved. So what I did was I said, you know what? I'm hurt. I'm going to make this nigga's life miserable. I'm going to make his life as miserable as I possibly can. And I'm not proud of it at all, because this was actually very low. It was very low vibrational of me. So I resorted to, just doing crazy shit. Like they used to throw parties on campus. He and his friends, because they actually were on the football team, so everybody knew them for their parties. They used to throw these bomb ass parties, and so in my head, I'm thinking, oh, you think you can have a baby with me, and they just leave me, nigga? You think you gonna leave me and throw parties and drink Ciroc and have a good time? I think the fuck not, nigga. I think not. So what I would do was I would crash these parties. I would fight women. I would try to fight him. I would just do crazy things, like things looking back where I'm just like, yo, that's not. Or I would engage in acts of manipulation, which is also very Scorpio, to make sure that I had the upper hand. So, and sometimes I would use my child to do it. Like I said, I'm not proud of it, but my Scorpio Mars is conjoined to my sun, and the sun does deal with children. So, as well as men. So I would use my kid, the whole like you're not going to see the kid kind of thing, or just kind of be petty and play little games, right? I would just do really weird things. And then at a certain point, when I realized those things weren't working, right, trying to get a rise out of him, trying to ruin his life, I started to implode. Now, this is where that distinction between Scorpio and Aries comes into effect, because these are two signs that they're actually quincunx one another, because they do share the same co-ruling planet of Mars. However, Aries is a lot more overt. Aries, that natural rulership to Mars. These are people, who have that same level of passion, right? But they channel a lot of their energy, like when they're triggered and things like that, outwardly. And it comes and it goes, right? When you think about people with prominent Aries energy, you piss them off, right? They respond and then they're back cool again, right? Or they can be very outwardly destructive, impulsive. It's kind of like an energy that happens and then it's over. Scorpio, on the other hand, because it is co-ruled by Pluto as well, it is a lot more covert. It's more so of a buildup. And so not only is it really hard to see, but when people snap, under a lot of Scorpio influence, they snap. And a lot of times, they tend to take it out on themselves. So these are people who can be, I would argue, a lot more self-destructive than Aries placements, right? Aries placements could be a lot more destructive to other people. I mean, they can be a danger to themselves, absolutely. But I would say with Scorpio, depending on how these people handle it, they could be a lot more of a detriment to themselves. So I literally stopped taking care of myself. I stopped taking care of myself, and all the energy that I invested into loving him, right, which is where we get that polarity, that love-hate polarity of Scorpio. All the energy that I invested into loving him and really wanting the relationship, right, I invested that same energy into hate. That's why they say it's a thin line between love and hate. I hated everything about him because it kept me attached to him. I hated his guts. I hate, I just spent all of this time with like a cloud over my head. I'm like, yeah, I hate that nigga. Because deep down inside, that's the only way Scorpio is still able to feel. Right? Love and hate are literally two sides of the same coin. And so anytime you meet people or you're dealing with somebody, even with Scorpios, like I kind of get, even me myself, I get kind of nervous because that same, if they're unevolved, the same energy, the same amount of intensity that they will place into really nurturing and loving you and building you up, they will try to take you down. And so some of the really unevolved Scorpios will be some of the most nastiest, once again, vindictive, most evil and sadistic people you will ever fucking meet in your life. Okay? There are people who will try to break you down to your most common denominator. And a lot of times it's also to make themselves feel more powerful. And I'm not exempt from that. Like I definitely, on my worst days, and especially during this particular circumstance with Adrian, I was all about that. And anytime you feel like you're moving past things, and this is for me, there's always something. It could be a mood swing, because I'm also a Cancer South Node. And remember, my Mars is squaring my moon. So, I'll have a mood swing or something. I'll be fine. Like, now me and Adrian are on a semi better note. So, like, we'll be fine. We'll have like a co-parent relationship, and I'll have a mood swing, right? And I'm to be 100% transparent with y'all, I'm currently going through a mood swing. And it'll be really nothing that necessarily he did in the moment. I'll just be thinking, right? Like this morning I woke up, you know what I'm saying? And I had some conversations. I was talking to like a friend of mine, and we were talking about things, and it was kind of random. And then he crossed my mind. And right as he crossed my mind, automatically I started thinking about all the fucked up shit that he did. So I'm thinking, like, now my mind has triggered back into like this pain mode. Like now I'm mad again. Now I feel away again. And now I'm the type to act off of that. And then when I act off of that, most people be like, damn, this bitch is crazy. Like, I know he'll be like, wow, this bitch is crazy. But like that I really wanted to use this as a teachable moment to orchestrate just how deep and intense that scorpionic energy can really be, especially when slighted. You know what I'm saying? These are people who do not do well when it comes to betrayal, when it comes to being ignored. That's another thing. When you feel like you're not getting the attention that you feel like you want. Scorpios do not take very kindly to being ignored, to being thrown away, or to be in any kind of situation where they feel like they don't have the upper hand. And it makes me think, because if I had been the one who broke up with him, I probably wouldn't even have all this smoke. I probably wouldn't even have all this energy, probably wouldn't have all this pressure. But it's like the fact that you were robbed of your own personal power. And for Scorpio, power is everything, right? Um, it does something to you. And so I guess what I'm also trying to convey is that even though I am a person who I'm an astrologer, I wouldn't necessarily categorize myself as a spiritualist, so to speak. I don't have my life together. Like, I don't have all the answers. I'm just like everybody else, doing the best that I can with what I got. And yeah, so I mean, as of now, this nigga still gonna get that smoke again and again and again, and whenever the fuck I feel like it. It's wrong. It's problematic, admittedly. So don't do what I do. Don't do what I do. Do better than me. But now, I feel like ruining this nigga's life, and I might just do it. I'm gonna go ahead and read the comment. As a Scorpio moon, I can hold a grudge for years. So you feel me? It's like, and too, Scorpio doesn't do really well with vulnerability. So anytime, once again, that there's a breach in that trust, right? It's very, very hard to it's very hard to overcome that. It's not impossible, but it's hard. Well, I'm honest. I'm honest about it. Because, I know I'm not alone. When I look at a lot of people and their behaviors, I know I'm not alone. I think I'm just one of the few people to actually admit it openly. You're a Scorpio rising, so you can feel me. Your 8th house Gemini Mars, you get violent fast. And then now, mutable Mars individuals, I would say mutable signs in general. So we're talking your Sagittarius, Geminis, Virgos, Pisces, suns, but especially Mars placements can be extremely volatile. And what makes it so crazy is that it comes kind of without warning and it's very unexpected. But when they snap, they snap. So I believe you, actually, in considering that Gemini deals with the hands. Okay. Aries is combat. I believe you. I respect the fact you real about it. It's refreshing in a way. Thank you. You like toxic women? Blitz. Honestly, truth be told, everybody has their own toxic characteristics. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? And the operative obviously is to work to overcome those things. You know, but everybody's human. So I mean, it just is what it is. You said not at all. But not the but. it's you being a Gemini for me, because I feel like you can understand the duality in it. You can understand the duality of being someone who stands on a certain virtue or principle, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, being human. I mean, when I think about all of the Geminis, even from like a celebrity standpoint, I think that's why a lot of them tend to have a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde complex, right? Where it's like they're two people, and a lot of times, because Gemini is symbolized by the twin, and one of those twins tends to be evil, like, and I'm not even trying to be hyperbolic or like darker in nature. I think about Tupac. He's the best representation of that, right? Where 1 minute he will be talking about it's time to heal our women, be real to our women, and then the next minute he trying to make sure his fofo, make sure your kids don't grow, and then that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker, and then it's thug life, and then when I see a bitch, I'ma spit on a bitch. Like, damn, it's coming from the same mouth. What are we talking about here? As long as everything, you two people. I don't know. I feel like I don't think I've seen your twin though. I've only known one side of you. I don't think I've ever seen your twin. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. I wonder what your twin side is like. 2 sides, maybe 3, maybe. Tupac had an Aries moon. Yep, he had an Aries moon, and he was also a Leo South Node. And one thing about Leo South Nodes is, they can be extra, right? Obviously, very performative, very dramatic, and to a degree, I feel like he was playing a role, right? I feel like he was playing a role, and he got lost in that role. Meaning the role being the thug life, right? The performative role. Um, Even when you consider the fact that he was a Gemini sun, Leo is ruled by the sun. I feel like his persona, so to speak, because you can even look at your at Leo as being like your persona, got fragmented, and he got trapped in that role, playing the role of the thug nigga, to the point where he actually missed the mission, which was his Aquarius North Node. In this lifetime, he was supposed to be a humanitarian. And now this is the side that I feel like he showed to a certain extent, right? The activist, the humanitarian, the revolutionary, right? He came from a long line of revolutionary people. But that goes to show you too how in life at times we bounce back and forth, we ping pong back and forth between our north and our south nodes. So there were times where he was able to activate and understand the assignment of the Aquarius North Node, but ultimately his demise came from not being able to, I'm not going to say fully detached, because we're not supposed to fully detach from our South Node, but it got him caught up. It got him caught up. And that's what your South Node can actually do for most people. It may not necessarily have that particular outcome, but that's why it's very important to understand astrology and understand what your assignment is in this lifetime, because relying too much on your South Node will get you caught up. Tying it back to my situation, I'm a Cancer South Node, so anytime I rely on my emotions to make decisions for me, anytime I lead with my feelings, like I said, being somebody who can be very moody, being somebody who can be very emotional, and Cancer is also one of those signs that can be trapped in the past. So even taking it back to my situation with Adrian, like, no matter how much time passes, I'm always like, in a space and time where I can always be susceptible to be overcome by whatever emotions that were, whatever emotions that kind of overtook me in that moment. And so anytime I kind of rely on that, it gets me caught up. You know what I'm saying? A way that a lot of Capricorn North nodes can get caught up is through, they can do things, their emotions can lead them to do things that can land them trouble with the law. You know what I'm saying? And I've always said that, I know what I'm capable of. Like, I wouldn't want to do this like consciously, but I can definitely see myself being somebody who could like fuck around and commit like a passion crime. Like, this nigga was in my face. That's why God knows what situations to put me in. Because some of the things I be hearing about, even with my clients, I be like, listen, God know better than to put me in that situation. Because I've been stabbed a nigga to death, and now I'm in jail, and now ain't no more HoodAstro. Now I'm behind bars. I don't have time for that. Okay. So it's very important that I keep my emotions in check. Because I've been and killed me a bitch. Tupac didn't have any real friends. I mean, that's also a part of that Aquarius North Node. There could be a lot of karma that comes along with friendships. You know what I mean? A very passionate person. Yes, I am. I am. I am. And that can be a really, really good thing, or it can be a really, really bad thing. But as I can say, as I've gotten older, I've gotten better with, somewhat better with, tempering that. As a Scorpio woman, what would you do if a man put his hands on you? See, I'm a Sagittarius, but I'm an early degree Sagittarius. And so it just so happens that my Scorpio Mars is conjoined to my sun. But even with that being said, I have been in a situation where I've had a guy put his hands on me, and I fight niggas. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, I don't now. Like I said, I'm a grown ass woman now, but thinking about, you know, past situations and circumstances, that's just the God honest truth. You put your hands on me, I'm sending you straight to the shadow realm. You're going straight to the shadow realm. Like it's like you're going straight to the shadow realm. I'm gonna do my best to annihilate. I'm gonna annihilate you from the earth. Like I'm sending you to meet your maker. Period. Karmic energy with friends can show up as an 11th house south node too. Absolutely. Now, in terms of like what kind of issue or what kind of karma and how this karma can play out in terms of your friendships, that's going to be indicated by like what sign is in that house. So, you know, you can kind of take that with a grain of salt, right? Because that can kind of be modified based on what sign is in that house. But yeah, absolutely. Aquarius South nodes as well have a lot of karma tied to their friendships, their associations, their peers. So these are people who can naturally, they're accustomed to gaining a lot of things through other people. But a lot of their misfortune in life and things like that can come by way of other people. And to a certain degree, this could apply with Aquarius North Node. So taking it back to the Tupac reference, right? When you think about it, right, a lot, and I would have to go back and revisit his chart to you know, get more nuance, but a lot of his downfall was predicated upon the people who he was hanging around, i.e. Suge, i.e. Death Row, i.e., you know, whoever the fuck else he was around. He was around a lot of people. And that's why he's one of those people, you know, where since his passing, everybody has a Tupac story to tell. Oh, yeah, I knew Pac, you know, back in 93, you know, he gave me a pencil and he told me to have a good day. Like, everybody got a Pac story. Everybody got a Pac story. I tried. This guy was huge, though. A mess. I mean, listen, I don't advocate that women try to fight men. I don't. Call the police. Send them niggas to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest and transparent about my experience because I know me. And like I said, that's the reason why my Cancer South node is, I got karma with that. Because when you and your emotions, you don't think. You don't stop to think and be like, hey, I'm dealing with a guy. This is a man. He's bigger than me, longer than me. He can be dangerous. You don't think that. You think with your emotions. So, you know, that's part of the karma I got. So I want to be very clear. I wouldn't advise that for anybody else. Please don't do that. Call the police. Send these niggas to jail. And I gotta be fair. If you're a man and a woman hits you, you know, because there are men in abusive relationships, send that bitch to jail. Don't tussle, don't toss with her. Send her ass to jail. Call the police. What's the assignment? You know, do I really want to make? I don't want to make this live stream about the nodes, just because I do have a workshop coming up. Okay, I have a webinar on the nodes. So if you guys want to learn more about the nodes, it would be great to purchase your tickets for this webinar. But what I will say, and I'll give you guys more information on that. So, you know, if you're not following me on IG, Hood X Astro, I'm on there. I mean, not IG, Twitter. I mean, I'm on IG as well, but I'm more active on Twitter, Hood X Astro, and then my community tab. I try to keep you guys updated with what's going on. However, to answer your question, Scorpio North nodes do have a lot of karma tied into their ability to trust their gut and their instincts, so to speak. They have a lot of karma tied into learning how to rely on things that are beyond, you know, the superficial, beyond the material things. And I think that's the most generic interpretation of Scorpio on the North Node. And so I'm gonna leave it at that. Like I said, if you guys want more in-depth interpretations, be on the lookout for my nose workshop, because actually Novi from Sisters on BET, she and I, we had a workshop together maybe a month ago now. We're working on part 2 of our webinar. This is going to be a paid webinar, okay? And it's literally going to be on the nose. So we're going to be breaking down all of the manifestations of the nodes, and we're going to go through each sign. And then we'll even talk about transits as well. So thank you, Blitz. Thank you so much. You wonder if I'm one. I'm a Scorpio. What you mean? I wonder if I'm one. You wonder if you're what? Mutable signs can be taken in the moment. Yeah. You don't even. That's facts. I'm just trying to figure out why Tupac was acting like bad boy shot him in the studio when he knew exactly who did it. That's a good question. That's a very good question. Very good question. I thought I meant to. You're not about to think you can squash me because you're man. But the truth be told, Ocean, that there are a lot of women who do. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen women really like Molly want a nigga. Like, I've seen it, but based on statistics, based on biology, men are naturally and biologically stronger than women, and that's just the truth. And so it's like, you have to, like, from a logic standpoint, you have to be okay with assuming the risk and the possibility that this nigga might just knock my teeth out my mouth. This nigga might just beat the shit out of me. Because I've also seen that. I've seen girls, not even try to really seriously fight with a dude, and he try to beat her ass, like, or he succeeds in beating her to a bloody pulp. Like, I've seen it. So it's just like, I wouldn't put it like this. I have a daughter. I would never recommend that to my daughter, ever. Do not be trying to fight these men. And I know I'm a hypocrite. That's that Sagittarius shit. Do as I say. Don't do as I do. Do as I say, honey. Because that's just what it is. It's risks involved. Also, since we're doing story time, y'all know I like sharing stories with y'all, and this live, like I said, it's not gonna be up anyway. Did I tell y'all? Wait, okay. So my Mars, keeping it on topic, right, with that Scorpio Mars, my Mars is actually at the 29th degree, right? And we can actually start talking about degrees, because degrees with signs, they do matter, because they can paint a more vivid picture in terms of giving you more clues and indicators in terms of how that particular planetary placement can play out. So for me, my Scorpio Mars is at the 29th degree. That number 29 kind of, I mean, it's a very, very critical number in astrology. A lot of people refer to it as the anaretic degree, the crises degree, and Scorpio is a crises-based sign. So it kind of takes a lot of the experiences that I have and it magnifies them times 20. So, there's that. But, that number 29 could also deal with infidelity. Scorpio is also a sign that's naturally prone towards infidelity as well. And, in this particular relationship that I had with, what did I say his name was? Adrian. Infidelity was a huge, huge issue. And I'm going to be honest, because it wasn't just on his part. Like, we cheated on each other. I don't know. Like, how many women in the chat cheat back? And this is not, I'm not really glorifying it, but everybody has different ways of handling things, right? You got some people who are actually mature and evolved enough to leave and walk away when things are no longer serving them, which, probably today at this age, I would. And then you have the people who like complain and cry about it and then take it. I kind of was that girl too. That's given very like Virgo, right? Like, a lot of my Virgo-based individuals, Virgo Venus, Virgo Sun, Moon, right? Even Cancers, right? A lot of Cancer-based individuals will whine and cry about shit, and you'd be like, fuck it. I'm gonna just stay. I'm gonna stick beside him. I'm gonna stick beside him. But then you have some people who is like, yeah, I'm gonna stick beside you, but it's gonna be some more shit coming with that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bliss. Thank you so much. When I was younger, I cheated a lot. Sag, Sun, Venus, and Scorpio. Yes. And you know, Sagittarius is another one of those signs that could be prone towards cheating. Gemini too. Bliss, I wonder if well, you ain't gotta tell on yourself. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Is that something that you've struggled with yourself? Or do you still struggle with? Because I know Gemini is another one of those signs that can be prone towards cheating. But anywho, you know, so and it got so bad, it got so crazy. Like, and I think the pinnacle, the peak of the bullshit is when he cheated on me with a girl who was my best friend. Best friend. She was my best friend. How did that Kelly Price song go? Oh, why? She was my best friend. Yeah. Why? Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. Y'all want to hear that story? I think I told this story. Y'all want to hear that story when he cheated on me with my best friend? And it was so bad. Leo man was Leo. What you mean Leo man was the best? Gemini sun, Scorpio moon. Oh yeah, yeah. Women with that Gemini sun, they could also attract men who in Gemini Venuses, I've noticed too, who can have a difficult time finding everything they need in one partner. And so the intent may not even really be to cheat per se, but you know, there could be a tendency to lose interest, or you know what I mean? Sagittarius can be like that too, and they have a tendency to make you feel really special in that moment, which is why when people tend to find out that they're cheating, like you like, what the fuck, like, you know. And it's not a knock or a shade or a slight to you. It's like, yeah, baby, when I'm with you, I'm yours, baby. But when I'm with so and so, like, you know what I'm saying, like I fuck with so and so and so and so and so. I feel like with Geminis, if we're not cheating, we will let you think so. Yeah, I can see that. The mind games. I technically never cheated physically, but I definitely had someone to hit up during the temporary breakups. Yeah. Sappy. Yeah. We ain't even gonna get in that. I remember. And you know what? You know who else can be some cheaters? And blitz. Listen, you know what I'm talking about. Pisces. I think Pisces do not get the credit that they deserve. It's just they're sneaky. Every Pisces individual, like Pisces, prominent Pisces individual, even Adrian, my child's father, is a Pisces, and he's a Pisces sun of Venus. I've been friends with some girls who have been Pisces. When I tell you these hoes are so sneaky, and I mean the dark sided ones, okay? If it doesn't apply, then it just doesn't apply. They sneaky, bro. Like you never really know. Like you will never really be able to let on the depths of the motherfucking fuckery that they really got going until some shit happened. This is why they're also subject to scandal. Pisces is a sign of scandal. A lot of times, you know, depending on whatever else is going on in the chart, they could be subject to situations where they're outed. You know what I mean? Where they're slandered, especially like this would even apply for people who have like Sun square Neptune or some crazy shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Venus in opposition to Neptune. It's crazy. Bring it back, drama. Man, listen. Hey, I had a friend, and this is the same person that me and you know, Blitz. We here. We ain't even got the same individual. This same individual. This Pisces individual. I was really, really good friends with, and shout outs to her. I mean, I don't have any bad blood with her, so let me just go ahead and just say that, right? I'm gonna just go ahead and put it like that. I don't have any bad blood with her at all. It is what it is. We're grown as hell. But you know, just to kind of support my point, you know, she and I were friends, and I thought very close friends. Like we played basketball together. No, what did she play? Yeah, we played basketball together, volleyball. We danced together, all kinds of stuff. We hung out together, spent time at each other's houses. Like we were girls. Like that was my girl. And I had a crush on this guy. I had a crush on this guy in my homeroom, right? And for this particular guy, I would tell her all the time, I'm like, oh, like I like him. And she would be like, yeah, like, oh my God, like you should talk to him. Like, you're saying you should talk to him and like, yeah, like da 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 da. And so this would go on. And I actually went to prom with said guy. You know what I'm saying? And as time went on, it came out in the wash and the rinse, baby. She was talking to this dude. And I had heard that she had fucked him. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Because like I said, Pisces can find themselves in the midst of gossip and scandal. So to be fair, I don't know if she actually fucked him, but I know for a fact she was talking to him. And I felt the way because I'm like, not even because the dude was all of that. In the grand scheme of things, I really don't give a fuck. But I'm like, sis, like, and it was like a whole drawn out thing. Like the whole time I had been coming to her and telling her about this particular guy, she was fucking with him. Like she was, hanging out with him, going to see him outside of school. It was the craziest shit. I'm like, Pisces are the sneakiest motherfuckers ever. Yeah, it's the sneakiest motherfuckers ever. Dark-sided Pisces can be so sneaky. So sneaky. I said, oh my goodness. Okay, so taking it back to Adrian, right? Because he's also a Pisces, so this is like a really good example. Adrian and I had a very interesting relationship because, like I said, our relationship was kind of felt like it was like tit for tat. He was still a man and he had like a really big ego. He was an Aries moon, so he still had like a really big ego. And I think he never really forgave me for the fact that I didn't really act the way I was a little baby who wasn't gonna listen. Like I'm a little baby who don't listen. So I think that kind of made him feel away. And when you compare him to like his friends, his athlete friends, a couple of them have actually gone on to play in the NFL. And so you already know like the kind of culture and the mindset surrounding niggas like that who think they're going pro, and the ones who actually go pro. They think that they can have women the way that they want, and that was not me. And so he would do little things like, I would hear about him being with this girl. I would hear about him being with that girl. I would hear about him being with that girl. And it's like, all right. But I had a friend, okay, and I'm gonna say the bitch name because fuck that hoe. Her name was Anissa. She was a Cancer. I should have known. Me and Anissa, we was running buddies, right? We was so cool. That was my bitch. Like we was cool. And word on the street was she was a hoe. Now I'm telling my age because we had a rip list back in the day. We had a rip list, and the rip list for all the youngins was something that it was like a whole list. Okay, I'm pretty sure if like social media was popping back then the way it is now, it would be bitches' lives would be destroyed. So all the girls who was fast, all the girls who was, and I'm pro ho by the way, so I don't slut shame, but this is just whatever. People got shamed. Women, we know what it is. Women got shamed for being promiscuous. And so these were the women who all the guys would fuck, right? All the girls that the guys would fuck. These niggas probably didn't even really know how to read and write. But when I tell you they came together and united to create a comprehensive written list. It was a written list, y'all, of women who were the biggest hoes at the school, and they ranked them in order, y'all. It was like y'all niggas don't read, y'all niggas don't write, you niggas is degenerates, you niggas is, you know what I'm saying, speech impediments and some more shit. But when it's time to like comprise an organized list of hoes, when I say them niggas was them niggas congregated, and it was the craziest shit. And so every year she would be on said rip list every year. And I remember him asking me, like, why do you hang out with her? Why are you her friend? And I was like, I like her. Like, that's my girl, whatever. And she would do weird shit. Like, I'm all about doing what you want with your vagina, but she would put herself in stupid predicaments, knowing that boys are childish anyway, right? Especially college boys. She would fuck niggas who are on the same hall, and then they would like laugh at her. You know what I mean? I'm like, girl, if you're gonna be a hoe, girl, at least like scatter the coochie. You give a crumb of coochie to this nigga over here. You sprinkle a few crumbs of coochie to this nigga right here. Then you find you a nigga on the other side of town. nigga who maybe don't go to college, you sprinkle some coochie crumbs to him. Why are you giving all of your coochie to like the same group of niggas who grew up together, who from the same hood, who live on the same hall, who do the same shit? Girl, that's why they roasting you. But she didn't listen to me. And so, you know, she had made her rounds with the football team. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, my child's father, Adrian, was on the football team. And I remember she actually, you know, fucked his best friend. And so he was just like, man, that bitch dirty and this and that and the third and blah, blah, blah. And ladies, pay attention when a man is when a man is very invested in dogging a bitch to you. Start paying attention to that, especially like, you know, dynamics where there could be a lot of tension between your best friend and your man. Like, I understand there are situations where y'all might not like each other, but they should not have that much energy. It should not be that much energy invested in not liking each other, because it's like, once again, taking it back to that Scorpio thing, it's like a love and hate thing. Like, bitch, why the fuck are you that passionate about not liking my nigga, bitch? Or why are you that passionate about not liking my friend? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck I need to know? But anyway, he never really said anything about him, but he would always have a bone to pick. Like, man, that bitch nasty, bro. That bitch dirty, bro. That bitch, that bitch, she's some real, that whole, so I'm like, all right, whatever. That's my whole friend, and I'm gonna hang out with her, and I'm gonna stick beside her. And shit, literally, you know, I was hoeing too, but I was just smart about it. But anyway, one day, me and her fell out. Long story short, we fell out. And she ended up transferring schools. Okay. And when she transferred schools for a semester, it was out of sight, out of mind. I didn't really think about her. It was what it was. The bitch was gone. And on like the next semester, the semester, you know, after that, I was at my boyfriend's house, and his friend, it was a bunch of guys, right? But one of his friends, my daughter's godfather, was like in the kitchen on the phone, and I hear Anissa's voice, right? So I'm like, that sounds like Anissa. Now y'all know me, Scorpio Mars, I'm petty. I was like, ugh, fuck that hoe. Like, I don't fuck with that hoe. Fuck that bitch. That's what my natural response was. And I remember him talking about like, oh, Anissa getting ready to come back. So I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna bully this bitch when she come back, because I don't like her. And that's the type of person I was then, you know? I was like, yeah, I don't fuck with that bitch when she come back. Yeah, fuck that hoe. Like, you know, like I don't want to, but something came over me, and it was God. It was the spirit of God. It was the spirit of God. And I said, you know what? Let me swallow my feelings for the moment. What would happen if I asked Nice to give me her number? So I was like, hey, is that Anissa? He was like, yeah. I was like, let me get her number. And he was like, all right, he gave me her number. I called her. I was like, hey, what's up? And she was like, oh, hey, girl. And I was like, yeah, like, you know, it's me. Like, I heard you was coming back into town, like, with the woo. You know, and I just want to talk to you real quick. Like, you know, she was real nervous. She was like, okay. She was like, yeah, I'll be over there tomorrow, or whatever the case may be. And I was like, yeah, we can have a conversation. You know, I just want to talk about our friendship. Like, I don't want no drama. I'm not trying to fight. I'm not trying to do none of that. I just want to talk. And she was like, okay, cool. So she comes over the next day. Now, mind you, that night, they had another party. Okay. These niggas used to love parties. They used to throw the best parties. And I was not one of those girlfriends who had to be all up under you. I kind of was, but I was trying not to be like that. So I was like, he having a party. They having a house party. I'm going to let them do them. I was like, you know what, babe? Y'all have fun. I'm finna be, you know, I went to my house. Like, I was just hanging out with my friends, doing my own thing, having girls' night. Y'all have fun. So mind you, fast forward the next day, okay, and Anissa calls me and was like, "Hey, where are you? I'm you know, I just, you know," she didn't say she just touched down, but she kicked it like I'm in the area, you know, or at least where my old apartment was. She was like, "Are you at home?" I said, "Nah, I'm actually at Adrian's house." And I know that she knew where Adrian lived, because once again, when we were friends, me and Adrian were together. Yes, this is the Cancer girl. Me and Adrian was together. So I knew she knew where Adrian lived. So I was like, yeah, I'm at Adrian's house. Pull up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on the phone. I'm sitting in the bed with Adrian. Now, mind you, this particular morning, he had picked me up from my house, and this is a nigga who normally he's a real boring, ordinary nigga. The nigga don't let the Pisces fool you because he's not romantic at all. He leans very heavy into the Aries moon energy. The nigga's actually very selfish. He's not romantic. So the fact that he had picked me up that morning, he took me to breakfast, brunch. He gave me some jewelry. You know what I'm saying? He used to sell weed at the time. Normally he was real stingy about his dope. No, the nigga rolled me up some blunts. Okay, we had some of the best sex. Okay, he a Pisces. Pisces rules the feet, so he was sucking on my toes, eating my coochie to the gods. I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? I was so excited, like, oh, I got me a good man. So Anissa comes over. Anissa comes over, right? And so she comes to his house. Now I'm in his room. He's in the room as I'm arranging, I'm calling and I'm sending for her to come in. Like, hey, I'm here. Come see me. He says he gets up. Actually, when she comes, he says that he and Nice have something to do. So he was like, yeah, I'm finna go with Nice to whatever. I don't even remember what it was. Make a play, do whatever the case may be. So I said, okay, go ahead and go. Okay, so he leaves. And as he's leaving, he and Anissa cross paths. They pass one another. But they didn't look at each other. They didn't speak. They didn't say anything. Like it wasn't like what's up. Like it wasn't none of that. Like nor did I expect it to be. So I was like, oh, okay. Like he just left. So okay, whatever. So she's in the room. We're in his room, guys. I'm on the bed, okay? I'm on my boss shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm laid in the bed, I'm excited thinking I got me a good man and I'm rekindling shit with this bitch. So we talking about where our friendship went wrong and shit like that. But we agreed that, you know what, we don't have to reconnect on the friendship tip. We don't have to reconnect on the friendship tip. It's okay. You can go your way, I can go mine. But we just was getting closure. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? I respect that. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I just, I wasn't the best friend. I made some mistakes, and I was like, I can take accountability. So the conversation is over. She gets up to leave. And then she turns around and she looks at me. She hesitates, and she kind of starts looking crazy. And I said, what's wrong? She was like, I didn't know that this conversation was going to go that well. I said, what you mean? She was like, well, I just knew you was going to feel away. And I know you. Like, I thought this shit was going to go left. Actually, I came, thinking like shit was going to go left. Like, maybe we was going to end up fighting or like, well, I don't know. Like, I just thought you was going to be weird. And I was like, nah. Me and you was cool. I'm going to always hold a place in my heart for you or whatever. She's like, okay, so because I care about you, I do want to tell you something. And I said, what? She was like, well, Adrian tried to fuck me last night. I said, wait a minute, what now? You mean the Adrian that just walked past you, bitch? Like right before you came in the house, that age, like the one the nigga who house you in right now? My nigga, is that what you saying? He tried to fuck you? So she painted like this elaborate story. She was like, yeah, like he tried to fuck me. Like, they threw a party last night. So now it's connected. I'm like, ooh, that party last night. She was like, yeah, he hit me up on Facebook. He asked me if me and you were still friends. I told him no. She showed me the messages, so I saw it. I seen it. I seen it with my own two. I seen it. I seen the sneaky ass nigga hit her up and was like, "Hey, you and Megan still cool?" She said, "Nah." He was like, "Hey, we throwing a party and wooty woo. You should pull up." And she was like, "Okay." So I said, "Oh." She was like, "Yeah, he always would throw parties, so." I just went, me and my homegirls went, but it wasn't like that. But he was trying to flirt with me. And as you see in the messages, I wasn't trying to flirt with him back or whatever. But when we got to the party, I was, in his room. And then I'm like, bitch, how the fuck you get in his room? She was like, I was in his room and he pushed me down the bed and he started kissing on me and this and that and the third. And he tried to do this and that and slide my panties off. Like basically they was in the throes of passion right where the fuck we was sitting at. And but the way she described it, y'all, she made it sound really like good on her end. She was like, but I stopped him because, even though me and you was not on good terms, I just I couldn't do you like that. Like I had too much respect for you. Like I don't fuck with you. Like we don't fuck with each other, but I wouldn't do that to you. So I just told him like stop. She made it seem like she was the one who put she called a stop to it. And she was like, he kept trying and trying and trying. And I just told him no, and I got up and I left. Like it was just so weird, girl. But I just had to tell you. I just had to tell you. And I was like, okay. And my brain, I didn't know how to compute it. And the next thing you know, my mutable sun, my mutable Sag sun kicked in. That Capricorn, that Cancer South Node activated. That Scorpio Mars at the 29th degree activated, bitch. And I lost my mind. So I literally resorted to trashing his room. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck this. I'm gonna tear this nigga room up. I'm gonna start with the room and I'm gonna make my way throughout the house. I'm finna turn to Tasmanian devil. I snapped. So I started. He had a TV. I threw his flat screen TV on the floor. I started throwing shit around the room, kicking shit over. Throwing bottles. All the college boys used to collect the bottles, the little Ciroc bottles, and this and that and the third. I'm throwing the bottles. I'm doing so. Shit breaking, and she looking crazy. And he's sitting in the corner. She's still there, and she trying to sneak out the room. I said, "Nah, bitch, stay. Nope, stay here, stay here, stay here." Ma'am, stay here. I need you to stay here, okay? You don't get to just drop off no news like that. And the girl sis thought she was gonna drop the bomb and then leave the premises. No, ma'am, you stay your ass here, okay? And so as I'm fucking the room up, right? His roommate comes in, one of his friends comes in. He was like, hey, chill. What the fuck you doing, bro? Like, I can't let you do that, bro. He gonna be looking at me crazy. So then now I'm swinging on him. Like I'm trying to fight him. Like bitch, because I'm seeing red. So he calls Adrian. It was like, hey, bro. Hey, because now I'm making my way to his car. I said, fuck that, because he was riding with his friend. I said, fuck that. I know what to do. I'm gonna go fuck this nigga car up. So he called Adrian and was like, hey, bro, I don't know what you did, bro. Hey, bro, like, you need to, bro. She finna fuck with your car, bro. I don't know what you did, bro. She done fuck up the, hey. And so in three, not even three, it took like 2 minutes. Like, I don't know where them niggas went. I swear, to this day, I swear they just drove around the block because this nigga knew the fuck was finna pop off. They came 2 minutes tops. If that, they swerved into the driveway. We outside now. Anissa outside looking like a deer in headlights, looking like a dumb bitch. And so, I'm outside about to fuck up his car. He pop out the car. You would think that your first response would be to be like, baby, explain. Like, oh, I can explain, baby. Like, ooh, baby, I'm sorry. Baby, I'm begging, baby. No, that wasn't his response. This nigga hopped out the car. He immediately tried to attack Anissa. Like, and so now his friends trying to hold him back because he was like, bitch, I'm a da-da-da. Like now she all kind of ugly bitches. She a sloppy bitch. She her pussy funky. She this and that and the third. He just started going in on her. And I'm like, why are you trying to fight her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you really telling on yourself. Why are you fighting her? Like, and his friends, that's a female. Hey, bro, you gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill. And so he trying to get at her. I'm trying to get at him. Like, nah, nigga, no. That's not the that's the wrong one, nigga. So long story short, we got to fighting. It just was what it was. Like, I punched him dead in his face. Like, and it just so happened a few days, maybe a week before that, I had bought him a whole bunch of stuff. I made that nigga take everything off that I done got him. I made him take out them earrings in his ear, like everything, bitch. I done spent all my money. I'm just mad. The typical shit. I'm mad, whatever. And she's still in the corner looking stupid. And so, he was like, I deserve that, man. I deserve that. And he go in his pocket to give me some money because I was like, I didn't wasted all my time and my money on you. And he gives me some money, and I'm like, okay, like I took the money, but I'm like, nigga, what? And so she leaves. She ends up leaving, but like, I don't know if y'all do this, but I have a way of like, once again, like I ponder on things after the situation kind of comes and goes. So, after that whole fucking scene, right, I done came back to his house later that night. I fucked his car up anyway. I cut up all his shit, threw it in the yard. Typical, like, young, dumb, in love, hood rat shit, right? But, I'm talking to one of my other homegirls that night, and she was like, Megan, what did Anissa say again? Anissa said A, B, C, and D. I said, yeah. She was like, so you really think that bitch, you didn't think to yourself why she was in his room in the first place? I was like, well, yeah, I kind of thought about it. But she was like, Megan, do you think that Adrian did all of that by himself? I was like, I mean, I don't know. Cause I don't know. She was like, girl, they might have fucked for real. She was like, they fucked for real. What are you talking about? Like she was fucking with him. And I was like, and I don't know. It was just something about that clicked. Oh my God. And now everybody who know Anissa know that she's scary. Anissa was a scary bitch. And so, beating her up really wouldn't have served a purpose because I just would have went to jail because I'm a press charges ass bitch. She's I'm a go call the police ass bitch. She was I'm a scary hoe. Like she was scary. Like I sat there and watched bitches try to fight her before, and I'm like, damn bitch, you not gonna like, what I'm saying? Like I got you if they jump you, but you gonna let that bitch like punk you, bitch? We like, girl, like get like step your pussy up. So she was a punk, and like I'm not gonna fight a punk. But bitch, I'm gonna bully you for the rest of your days, bitch. The rest of your motherfucking days, bitch. I'ma hold your ass. So you either fight me or you just finna it's just finna be a wrap. So after that, I would just I would just harass her. I would just find her on social media and send her crazy shit. Or we had a class together. I would just be, I would just like I hated that bitch. I just wanted to fucking so yeah, that's the story. That's the story. That's the past tense. It's the past tense. And to this day, I mean, I don't know what she's doing with herself, but to this day, I would probably spit on her. Like it's just something about whew. But that was then and this is now. And on top of that, Adrian had told me. Now this was Adrian's version of the story, y'all. Adrian had told me that what had happened was he said, even though, yeah, some of what she said was true in the sense that, like, yeah, I was trying to get her to come over. Yes, I was making a pass at her, but we was trying to G her. He was like, that bitch tried to make it seem like I wanted her. She tried to make it seem like, what I'm saying? It was just on some me and her, like, girl, I got you where I want you. Come on, girl. Like, what I'm saying? Let me make love to you type shit. He was like, in actuality, my niggas had been sending her like basically like the niggas was like on some like him and his friends had been like, I don't know, it was some weird energy. He's a Gemini Mars. A lot of Gemini Mars individuals do be doing that threesome shit. So, whatever, like that gang banging shit. And so he said that basically they wasn't even the only ones in the room. He was like, it was my niggas, such and such and such and such and such and such in the room too. Like I was just gonna pop the shit off, and them niggas was gonna fuck her. Now, did this make it any better? Like, absolutely the fuck not. I was still looking at him like he was a retard. Like, so you really think I'm finna be like, oh, okay, that makes all the sense in the world. Thank you for clearing that up, bae. Like, no, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? But that's the part that she didn't include either. That's the part that she didn't include either. And that's why it was so many holes in the story. And when my friend had to we had to replay that shit. And I was like, run that shit back, DJ. She said, what now? She said, what now? So yeah, that's the story. And mind you, and I should have knew that. I should have knew that because she was a hoe. I should have knew that because not even a hoe. Shout out to my hoes out there. Like I said, I don't slut shame. Do what you want with your pussy, sis. She was a shameless hoe. And she was a hoe who would do anything, anywhere. And I used to think I felt like I was on Soul Food. Like Cousin Joyce had finally fucked my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you knew she was a hoe. And you come let her, you take the bitch in, and then you get mad when she do some shit with your nigga. You know what I mean? I just like that's what it was giving. I was like, I should have known. I should have known this bitch. I should have fucking known. I should have known this bitch. I should have knew it. And it just shit like that make you think, you know what I'm saying? So you've been plotting on my nigga the whole time? Cause you don't just wake up and feel that way. And I was thinking about him too. So like every time you saw me with her and she was all this dirty hoes and dirty slut, in the back of your mind, you wanted a piece of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you wanted some of that. Like you wanted a crumb of coochie. And that's the part I don't understand about niggas. Y'all are down the female for being a slut and a hoe, but you will still fuck her. So what does that make you, my darling? What does that make you? What does that make you? If you know Lil Mama is a whore per your definition and standards, and you still sleep with her, what are you exactly? Hmm. 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 And there was another bitch. Yeah, I think this is right on brand with the Scorpio grudges and resentment. So I don't feel bad about like going on a tangent. I appreciate y'all for sticking in here with me. You know, and what because while we're at it, I'm gonna go ahead and use real names on these hoes. Okay, this one bitch named Elandria. Fuck that bitch. Thurman. Fuck that bitch. Okay, she was another one. She didn't fuck my nigga, but she used to be friends with the bitches who would fuck my nigga. Okay, and those are the type of bitches you gotta watch out for too. And I learned a valuable lesson. She was a Leo, and she was somebody who really scarred me. She was a Leo sun. Was she an Aquarius moon? It was giving me Meg the Stallion. And to this day, I can't really look at Meg the Stallion like I'm traumatized. Cause like, and when people talk about how weird Meg the Stallion is because she's an Aquarius sun, Leo moon, I completely understand the vibes. I understand the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like to this day, I understand why. Like I just understand how that bitch could be insufferable. And this particular girl, I had known her since we was in the third grade. Okay. And you know how you confuse the length of a friendship for the quality of a friendship? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I've known somebody for a very long time. And it's because I'm a Cancer South node once again. So a lot of our emotional attachments and the connections that we have with people, you know, they stem for me, they stem from childhood. I got a lot of the same friends that I didn't had since we was motherfucking like before we got our period, bitch. All of my bitches be tight like that. And so I happen to knew this bitch, Elandria. Yeah, 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 Elandria. I knew this bitch back when we was kids. And then we kind of grew up together. Our moms was cool. Her mom was like a Delta. She had a real I actually kind of like her sister. She had an older sister who was a Delta. She was always popping, always popular. She was always so pretty and stuff like that, and we just thought she was so cool. And you know, I just kind of assumed like, okay, well, you know, this is my bitch. And like over the years, I would peep her doing little weird shit to me, and I didn't really realize because I was so trusting and even naive. I didn't really realize, oh, that bitch is not really your friend like that. Like that bitch don't even really like you like that. Like, and you know, mind you, my Saturn is in Aquarius, so I do have karma a lot of karma centering around like friendships and stuff like that. So this is to put this into context as well, right? But anyway, I remember one time when we was in high school, our parents sent us off to this like y'all know those shadow programs where like the high school students go and shadow some of like the college students where you go like shadow the college campuses and shit like that. You know, in my mind, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to Howard, right? I was a theater major in high school, so acting has always been my first love. So I was like, you know what? And Howard is known for their theater program. So I was just like, yeah, okay, we're finna go to Howard. And she actually went to Howard for a little bit, but her mom and my mom came up with the bright idea to send us to Howard. They came up with the bright idea to send us to Berry College. And I remember one time while we was at one of these camps, there was a dude that I liked, like a counselor that I liked. And I thought he was so fine. And I used to tell Elandra all the time how I felt about him. And she was one of those bitches too You know, Leos have a way, they can be very nasty people, like dark-sided Leos, especially when they think you're beneath them. So, and I think she thought I was beneath her because she was always like a real fly girl. She always had the this and the latest that, and you know, very Leo in fashion, right? She liked people who were popular. She liked people who had things, and people who made her look good. And so what she would do was, when it be me and her, she would be my friend in private and she would act one way, and then when we get around other people, she would be weird. So at this camp, I'm telling her all this information and how I like this nigga. And there was another girl named Jamara that we had got cool with, who went to, I think she went to like South DeKalb High School or some shit like that. And so like her and Jamara ended up clicking up. And I started feeling left out. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really trust myself, and it didn't really click, like this bitch change up how she act when she get around other people. And come to find out, when the camp was over, Alondra called me and tells me, oh yeah, Jamara was fucking with whoever the counselor was. And I was like, wait a minute, but I told you that I liked him. And why you didn't tell me that she was fucking him? And she was like, well, I mean, she didn't want me to tell. Now, I can't even remember what stupid ass excuse she made. That bitch made dumb excuses. And I was just like, okay. Like, and I remember feeling crazy, like, okay, you was clicked up and buddy with a bitch who was fucking with the counselor, and I told you I like the counselor, and bitch, I known you the longest, bitch. We done known each other since the third grade, but I let it go. I let it go because I was naive and stupid, and because it's not like I was dating the nigga, so I was just like, all right, weird. Now fast forward to college, okay, you had a friend like, I hate hoes like that. I hate hoes like that. And fast forward to college, my same nigga Adrian, me and Adrian had a very on again, off again relationship. And so at first she was at Howard, right? She transferred from Howard to my school, which was a major step down because I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing with your life? But the summer, like I think it was our junior year, she had transferred to BSU. And she was telling me, she was calling me, she's like, girl, yeah, I'm gonna be down there with you and we're gonna have so much fun and da 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 dee, da 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 da. And so she started attending summer school. Mind you, me and Adrian was on a break over the summertime. Okay. I had me a whole nother nigga in the summertime. Okay. I was starting and bopping and sprinkling my pussy crumbs over here and a little bit over there. So it was really cool. So when she said that she was going to be in Valdosta for the summer, I said, okay, I'm in Atlanta now, so I'm like, okay, girl, have fun. But when I come when school start back again, the semester start, girl, we gonna turn up, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, do. And initially, she didn't really know that many people. I introduced her to my friends, my roommates, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And I was like, I remember celebrating her birthday. I think her birthday just passed. She was born on August the 4th. Oh, weird ass bitch. And so, we celebrated her birthday, all kinds of shit. And then what I started to notice, during the semester, me and Adrian had got back together. Now, once again, here goes that thing where yo nigga knows something about your friend that you don't. And he would make little comments about her too. And he'd be like, ugh, that bitch is annoying. And I'm like, how you know her? Oh, yeah, I saw her over the summer because y'all know he played football. All the football players had to be at the school in the summertime. So I'm thinking she fucked them. I'm like, oh, Lord, have mercy. Well, no, she ain't. No, she ain't fucking him. No, she ain't fucking him. He was like, hell no, I wouldn't fuck that bitch. And in my heart, I don't think he fucked her because I genuinely don't think he was attracted to her. But the point is, okay, she was fucking with a lot of his friends. She was fucking with a lot of his teammates. And I just remember him saying, like, I don't really like that bitch. And I'm like, I don't get it. And so this is the same girl who we would like party. We would hang out. And on one particular day, she invited me to a girl's house who he had been fucking with in the summertime. That was strike one. But then it was another girl that he was dealing with when we had got together. And we went to Walmart and the girl hugged the bitch. Alondra hugged the bitch. And so just long story short, over time, I started to notice that you're consistently friends with all the girls that he used to fuck with, whether we were or weren't together, bitch, that's weird. Then she started doing weird shit, like trying to, like she literally turned all of my old friends against me. Like, I don't talk to none of my roommates, nobody from that time period. She would get with bitches that she had just met and start talking shit about me. It was so weird, y'all. And looking back, she's also somebody else that I wish I could have monkey stomped a hole through that bitch's large intestine. I wish I could have monkey stumped a hole through that alcoholic, weird ass bitch's large intestine, the small intestine too. And you know, I gotta get that right with my spirit because I fucking hate that hoe. Weird ass bitch. And I hope somebody know her. I hope somebody watching. I hope she watching because I heard she be watching. I heard she a fan, bitch. You raggedy ass bitch. Years later, and you're still raggedy. Weird asshole. I'm a Leo, but relate more to 8th house, moon, Scorpio, rising, conjoined to Pluto. Yeah, with friends like that, who needs enemies, right? All for self. Facts. Is this the one girl you did a reading on? It is. It is. I actually did a reading on her, guys. And at that time, I cared enough to conceal her identity. Well, I don't. I don't anymore. I changed my mind. I just caught a mood swing. Fuck that bitch. I might do one again. And I'm always gonna come for you, bitch, again and again and again and again, bitch. You're always gonna get it from me, ho. Again and again, bitch. I don't give a fuck how far you evolve and grow. You always gonna be a trifling degenerate. I'm not really a big fan of Leos either, unless they have something to balance that shit out. Listen, listen. Listen, it's scarred me, and not to mention, you know, I do have Chiron and Leo, so a lot of you know, whenever you meet someone who has the same sun sign as your Chiron, a lot of times that person can really irk you, or vice versa. There could be something about that person, or excuse me, there could be something about you that really irks that person as well. You know what I mean? Where it's almost like, ugh, like it's something about one another. It just really gets under your skin. And like I said, it wasn't like that initially with me until she really started being weird. You know what I mean? Till that bitch started being really, really weird. And so, you know. So then as a Saggy, what's the sign that you get along with the most? I mean, you know, if we're talking about the signs that from a textbook perspective that are compatible with Sagittarius's, I mean Libra, Aquarius. I mean, you know, Sagittarius for the most part can do really well when it comes to like air signs. I mean, even Gemini will be in our polar opposites. But I mean, you know, based on just other things too, because I got some Libra energy in me as well. I all of my like really close friends and the people I've really gelled with, I notice a lot of them could be Libras. I really do enjoy a lot of Libras, and this is, you know, once again based on whatever else is going in their chart. Um, you know, so it can be modified, but like typically Libras, I do love Aries as well. I got Aries in the 7th house, so I naturally do attract a lot of Aries individuals, and I must say I thoroughly enjoy them. One of my best friends in the whole wide world is an Aries. So, and I attract a lot of Cancers too, though. I don't know if I necessarily like them. I mean, the ones that are not already a part of my tribe, like the Cancers that I've grown up with, I love them to pieces. But like Cancers in general, I don't know. You like to think of Leos as Cancers. Why? Elaborate. Why do y'all feel that way? Okay, so if a Scorpio say you just told my business and stared you for 5 minutes straight without blinking, they really hate you, huh? Um, I mean, I guess Scorpios don't really take kindly to being exposed or being vulnerable, or like I said, betrayal. Period. So not Aquarius like sleeping with the community. You attract, but oh, okay, you're a Scorpio. Oh yeah, you just said you was a Scorpio rising, so that makes sense. And you know, I heard from a little birdie Alandria, you're probably watching this, bitch. I heard that you be watching my shit. That's another reason why I decided to do this. Bitch, I heard that you follow me very closely. And I could have decided to like not be petty, but why not, right? You watching me anyway, bitch. I'm gonna give you something to watch. So I hope you take these little nuggets. I hope you sleep at night. I hope you sit on them. You know what I'm saying? And I hope it marinates. And I hope you really reflect upon the fact that you're a horrible person. Okay, that you ain't shit. That you won't ever be shit, bitch. Fuck you. Today, tomorrow, next week, the week after, bitch. You're a weird ass bitch in every sense of the word. And that's really why you go out of your way to try to surround yourself with so many other people, because deep down inside you're not the girl. You know what I mean? Like, you're one of those Leos who are who overcompensate. You know what I mean? It's weird. And then you project a lot of your shit onto me and other people. So, and when I could really drag this bitch and really get in her business. This is light work. This is real light work. It's real light work, bitch. You claim people don't know the real me, but bitch, do they know the real you? Do they know the real you? Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. No, I don't waste my time. Witchcraft actually takes a lot of energy. I don't waste my time doing left-handed magic. Life is beating your ass up enough, bitch. And I'm not talking about in superficial ways, because she comes from a family who is very well to do, and so naturally they're going to align her in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Um, but your spirit, bitch, it's in shambles. You are a nasty, ugly, big, wide back bitch from the pits of hell. I don't know. Your back might not be that wide anymore. I heard you lost weight. Congratulations. I wonder if you made yourself throw up like you used to. Or did you do it the healthy way? I would hope so, for your sake. I love me some Leos with Virgo in the chart. They're committed and focused. Anywho, how's everybody feeling today? Do you have plans for the weekend? Huh? And you know what? I might leave this live up for a little bit, just because I'm not a punk asshole. If I'm gonna talk my shit, I'm gonna stand beside it. I'm not gonna run to delete it, because like I said, I heard through a little birdie that she be watching my shit, so I'm gonna keep it up. I'm gonna keep it up, and I really hadn't anticipated on talking about her, and I was gonna take the live down anyway. Truth be told, because I really didn't anticipate on talking about her, but like I said, I got caught up in the rapture. Um, and I'm gonna let this stay for a little while. I'm gonna stay. Leo, they don't like to be disliked, man. That's why she lied like that. We know. We know. Mm-hmm. Um, I'm gonna be honest, Bree. I don't really be into like that. I'm not like the portal and the whatever the case may be. Like, y'all might have to go find somebody else who's a little bit more in tune to talk about that, because that's not really my vibe. Like I said, I every now and then I'll make a live about like a particular transit when we talk about like the moon, right? New moon, full moon. You know, I can break down individual transits. I'm not really like when it comes to like collective portals, and honestly, I feel like it's a part of, and this is just my opinion. I feel like it's a part of like the Astro Twitter, like the airy fairy, because it's like every other week, every other month, it's always like a new phenomenon. Like, oh, it's a new portal opening. It's a magical alignment happening, and it's just Now, if we want to talk about like actual transits and what planets are involved and like why they are the way they are, that's fine. I'll read up more on it, but you know, I talked about that in my last night live stream, Leo moon, Leo season in general. Hi, Isis. You got to be careful with witchcraft, Bridget, because, and like I said, I don't even really like using that word because there's a lot of stigma tied or attached to like, oh, witchcraft, like woo. But you know, it's a matter of, like I said, left-handed magic versus right-handed magic, and truth be told, everybody can dibble and dabble in both. I mean, it just, you have to be okay with. I'm the type of person where I don't like to put shit out there that I wouldn't want to receive. So when it comes to intentionally putting the effort to like, you know, use left-handed magic and putting my energy into like, you know, dragging somebody down and this and that and the third, like I'll talk shit, I'll cuss you out. I might even hold a grudge, which in a way, I guess you could say that's like casting a spell, but I try to do better with that, because I mean, nobody's really exempt from the laws of the universe, and I always say, especially if you're not somebody who's like very well versed, because you do have certain like spiritual practitioners who do specialize in left-handed magic, you know what I'm saying? That's just it just is what it is, like, and they know how to kind of navigate that realm in that space. But if you don't really know what all comes with that, I would say maybe don't do that. That's all I'm saying. I would say maybe don't, maybe not. Batman. Batman. Speaking of witchcraft, I had heard that this same individual had tried to put some magic on me. I say try because I'm covered. And she's just a weak ass bitch. But that's what I had heard. I had heard that bitch in Leandria, I heard she tried to put some magic on me. That's something else that I heard. That's what I heard. Which is another reason why you're gonna always get it from me, bitch. Time and time and time again, bitch. That weak ass shit. Ex best friend was a Leo. A lot of my ex friends, actually, I'm not a fan. I mean, it's a reason why Leo is the opposite polarity of Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign of friendships. Yes, I am, DJ Gary. Yes, I am. I'm gonna put my email address in the comment section. So, all right. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and exit stage left. I have a lot of things to do today. Thank you guys for joining me for my little Scorpio rant. Okay. I hope you guys, learn how to check some of your own grudges and resentment. Learn through me. Learn through me. Okay. And you guys have an excellent weekend. I'll holler at y'all later. Bye.